Hello again, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. I hope you're doing well and trying to keep out of mischief. This is a prediction reading. We do now 4 types. I know, count them all. 4 types of readings here on Greatest Good Tarot. 3 of them are both for members as well as for you general people. Hello. They are current events, so we look into news stories that are currently going on, finding out whether or not what is actually happening, so that we can release it. So we're not burdened by it. We're no longer anxious by it. So that we can focus on our personal growth, personal development, and that's what our timeless collective readings are about. So if you see them in your recommended, that's the time for you to watch that reading. It's got a message in there for you. And then we do prediction readings like this one, and exclusively for our Village Elite members that are for, what is it called? Oh, God, it's just got, it's when it's new, and it's just like pings out your mind. General vibe readings, where we focus on particular countries or regions or areas, particular institutions, and have a little bit more of a deep dive of where they're coming from, what they're doing, so we can have at least understand what's happening from their point of view. Something I'm really interested in, actually. I'm really excited to do those. Anyway, this one is a prediction reading for the partnership or the re-partnership that's going on between Starmer, the Labour Party, and the EU. Is Starmer trying to kind of reconnect to the EU by everything but name? What is happening? What is going on? We seem to be going into crazy shenanigans over there. It's very, very odd. So if you like that sort of thing, if you find that of interest, then please click that subscribe button and ding-a-ling that bell. Got to ding-a-ling the bell in public. YouTube says it to be, so we must. If you really enjoy this reading, then please click that like button. That really does help me out. And also comment down below your thoughts and any research and information that you want to share with this particular reading. That always helps both myself and also the wider community as well. So thank you very much up front for that. So here we go. A predictions reading for the relationship between Starmer and the Labour Party and the EU, for the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always be appreciative. Them's the rules. Always be appreciative. So let's have a look at this lovely shenanigans. Shadow Ruler. Wow. This one's been coming out for a little while, kind of like the people behind the scenes. Not necessarily civil servants, but could be. But it's just people who are not in the public domain, not like people in the background, the real kind of rulers of the situation. Disappointing outcome. Well, there's Brexit for you. Let's have a look here. Drone strike. And tension escalates. So I think what I'm getting here with the drone strike is primarily Ukraine, Russia. I'm just moving these closer together so the light doesn't reflect them as much. But it's kind of it's kind of the escalation of Russia and Ukraine and with the drone strike, I'm just getting military in general. Kind of the EU wants to do its own army. There's rumours, and we'll go with rumours, that allegedly there's talk about the EU having their own nuclear arsenal and stuff like that. Kind of like this escalation, this general escalation, even though there's this military action. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Leaves office. There's the resignation that we keep on talking about with Starmer. Definitely feels like Starmer, that one. Public life burnout. Interesting that she very similar girls there holding a very similar camera there. Interesting. But it's very much the pressure's got too much. I also did a reading this week concerning Rachel Reeves, and she's in a very similar position to this that reading came back from. But this escalation. Submarine underwater. That feels like the pipeline that supposedly everybody said that Russia blew up its own pipeline. If you remember that back, what was it, last year? That smacks of that. AI tech. Positive outcome. Interesting. Also, it's very interesting that it's a very similar lad there on the two cards. Drone strike and AI and technology and the control of it and the databases and the information. That's what I'm getting from that as well. It's all about sharing of data, sharing of military needs. Like I know I started this off as an EU and Starmer, but for some weird reason, I'm getting more the energies of NATO, which is very bizarre. And I know this week that Japan is trying to set up its own NATO, Asian NATO, or at least talks about it. So it's very odd that I don't know if I know the EU want to do their own kind of army, and that's been an ongoing thing for quite some years, even though everyone called it a kind of conspiracy theory kind of rubbish. But this is all about war and military, as you can see, escalation of things. Overarching energy is big news. Underlying energy is shake-up. So this is kind of thwarted a little bit. This feels as if everyone's on board that wants to be on board. Obviously, no one who's actually anywhere near going to be shot at. But it seems as if it's stalled. The positive outcome, this sun, the vibrancy of this colour here. Always look at the colours if you read the decks as well. Just really kind of get an emphasis on what the mood is for each card and energy. A little top tip there. But I'm just finding this very interesting, where it's all about control with the tech, but it's also about military force. So let me go and get some tarot out here. Now we've got the background of it. Can we have some more insight about this weird relationship that Starmer and the EU are trying to foster together for the greatest good for all concerned? Thank you. Always be appreciative. So, weird cut there. It was kind of staggered cut for some reason. Defensiveness. Queen of Pentacles. Gossip. Kind of whimsical kind of energy there with the Page of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is coming across as I can picture her. She's the one in charge of the EU at the moment on the Commission side. If you can share her name down below, that's what, the one whom she thinks, even though the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is for me the middle Empress. There's three Empresses in the deck for me. There's the Nine of Pentacles, there's the Queen of Pentacles, and then there's the Empress herself, going through different stages of growth and development. She smacks as if she thinks she's the Empress, but she's actually just the Queen of Pentacles. Kind of middle management. She's not actually what she thinks she is. But they're guarding their position. the wounded soldier here feels as if it's the EU, and that's the relationship that we're going to persevere anyway. Page of Swords almost feels like the British people kind of, it's a whimsical. That's why it's like, it doesn't matter. What are they going to do? You know, Three of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, upset. The little guy spoke up. The little guy thwarted their plans. That's why it's suddenly kind of all this heartbreak. Oh, we put so much work and effort in. Oh, we've spent so much money. Oh, why? Oh, that to ruin it. Five of Cups. There we go. Oh, what a could have been. What a coulda, shouldas. Strength card. They're dusting themselves down. And once again, the Two of Wands. Kind of that. How can we come back from here? How can we still get our mission continuing, but at the same time through the guise of something else? That's definitely what's coming up here. It's like membership, everything but name kind of energy. Hierophant, the system. The Hierophant can be organized religions, but it also can be organizations, and kind of the bureaucracy of it, and like getting organized sometimes, but it's primarily kind of organizations. That's the EU. That's the infrastructure they're building. That's the rigmarole they're trying to make here. Page of Cups. Feels like Starmer, kind of a whimsical offer, kind of like, oh, please, can we come back in, and kind of thing. Ten of Cups. I may want to try and work that out. The World card here, overarching energy, is all about new cycles, new opportunities, that kind of thing. Triumphant normally, but it just feels like just a new cycle, just trying to find a new way. Sneakiness, though. Five of Swords. A false win kind of energy. They're going to be sneaky about it. Like I said, they're trying to do it through the back door, not necessarily like membership, but by every other name, but calling it as such. I want to get the dinky deck out just to clarify the Ten of Cups here with the Page of Cups. Can we clarify the Ten of Cups, please? Because I'm trying to work out on whose side is that happily ever after kind of energy, that happy home, that kind of yumminess, content, all that kind of thing. Ten of Cups. Is it their side? Is it is it Starmer in the EU, or is it us, the little guy, us standing up to the machine, which is the Page of Swords? So, can we clarify the Ten of Cups, please, with the greatest good for all concerned? Thank you. Because Ten of Cups is definitely a happily ever after. Ace of Swords has just flopped out on the side there that you can't see, which is always helpful. Nine of Swords, that's them. That's definitely, notice where it's laid there. How it's laid and landed. This one, for example, is on the big news here. This has landed between Starmer and them trying to having the strength to try and find another solution to bring Britain back into it by everything but name. We've got Ace of Swords, truth, knowledge, and information. We've got the Three of Pentacles, the plotting, like the foundations, the plotting, the foundations, making it happen. Ace of Swords, they are feeling trapped. That feels like trapped, them feeling trapped. Ten of Cups, Queen of Swords. Wow, the big news. Whatever this big news is, and it doesn't seem to be coming out here, is kind of the Queen of Swords is a knee-jerk reactor, kind of to the point, can be a bit cold-hearted, can be a bit kind of stinging, in their approach. But once again, truth, truth, truth. Um, it feels as if like this the 10 of cups down here is all about like the people pushing back again, realizing what's happening and saying, shut up, sit down and do your job, to people like Starmer and the elite. um you can have like some sort of trading agreement, but that's it. We don't want anything and I think this is the erosion that started with, and I'm not blaming anyone, but I think this erosion from the election of Brexit, or the vote, I should say, of Brexit, um, when Theresa May then started to try and negotiate. No one voted to negotiate. The people who won, the majority of this country, voted out. They didn't go, oh, but we want maybe a grey, like on a grey scale. No, they wanted out. So the ultimate definition would be no deal. Like it or not, that's what they voted on. That it was a yes or no. The answer was no, not but we'll put our toe in. And this is what I think here is like the erosion. It's like, oh, but we can try and somehow hoodwink somehow again, this, that, and the other. And this feels like two different sources standing up. The Queen of Swords is a specifically an individual, big gob individual, kind of calling out the BS. The Ace of Swords feels more like alternative media sources, kind of spreading the news, spreading information, spreading the fact what's actually going on, kind of warning about the back door being unlocked for them to be coming in, if you see what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. The Eight of Swords, though, is fascinating because they do feel bound. They do feel like there's very little, if any, room to maneuver. So it's how can they get back on track with their ultimate plan once, even though they've kind of sorted, they've been put in a corner. Underlying energy, Ace of Cups. Interesting. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a new creative love endeavor kind of thing. I feel like this Ace of Cups is more of a nice solution. This doesn't feel like a treaty to me. This doesn't feel like getting hoodwinked back in. This feels more of a I'm very much drawn to the dove at the top here. So it's kind of like a piece, relaxed, that kind of niceties. It doesn't feel like being dragged back in. It just feels more like, no, we can still be friendly, but you do you, boo, we'll do us kind of energy. But yeah, there's big news, and for some reason I want to pick up this one again. Rising water, which for me feels like they're feeling a bit like they're drowning a little bit. They're kind of like there's all this kind of pent up energy. There's all this kind of I can't put cards in places without the shine. That's why we get moving closer and closer into the middle. They're literally starting. I can see like in a like as a download, as an image, kind of like when you go to school and you're learning to kind of like you're doing your bronze swimming certificate and you've got to wear your pajamas because obviously you're going to be wearing pajamas in a drowning scenario and you've got to tread water for like 5 minutes or something. It's that kind of energy, kind of treading water, kind of finding a way of bringing this back on track. But it's not just us, because like there's France, Italy, there's parts of Sweden, I think Denmark as well. There's a lot of other countries of the EU are all kind of kicking up a fuss, going, "What are you doing?" Um, and pushing back and stuff, which is fascinating. Because you'd think, if you just listen to like the mainstream media here in the UK, it's just us and we're just bad people. But no, it's many people, many people. Once again, rightly or wrongly, not my place to say. I'm just here to kind of give you what I'm getting here. So, truth, knowledge, and wisdom for the spread, please. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for this spread, please. Okay. So, that's the top line here. Care again. Flipping heck. I do shuffle the deck, I promise. This is kind of taking care of ourselves, taking care of our community, taking care of, you know, I was going to say British people, but it's more like the UK massive, as it were, because obviously the Welsh are not British technically, and the Irish are not British technically. So it's like it's all of us, taking care of what serves us best. What else have we got here? Withdrawal, moving away from the EU. Because I think people have kicked up so much fuss about Starmer going across there last week, I think it was, that it's like, what are you doing? No one said to do this. You haven't got a mandate. You barely have a job at this point, so shut up. Gain. So it's cultivating something new, compromise, an agreement, working stuff out. But it's pulling stuff. It's almost like, look, if you want to deal with the Ukrainian stuff or whatever, you do that. But it's like we're not as into it as we originally thought. I don't know why I keep talking about Ukraine and Russia. It's almost as if, oh, hello, cool. Perseverance snapped and wanted to come out. I've also got mask deceptions, people wearing masks, they're coming off. This feels like they're coming off, they're slipping. Goal, purpose, a new destination. So I feel as if that's what we're getting here with the Ten of Cups down the bottom here. It's where, no, us first. I feel like this is going to be, especially when, and it's pretty at this point blatantly obvious that Trump is going to win. I think a lot more vocal people in all Western countries now. It's not just America. It's not just here. It's a lot of, even in Australia. I noticed in the last couple of days that they're also talking about the decline of birth rates over there, like we were talking about over here like a week or two ago. And America has been talking about it. And I know France has been talking about it. And Germany, I think, in the last couple of months. So it's not just an us problem. And what I would suggest from this reading is to keep an eye out on what's happening in other Western countries, to realize that we are not alone in this, and there is a lot of pushback going on all over the place for the same reasons. And I don't think the politicians were expecting it at all, completely. That's why they've got the Nine of Swords here. They're trying to find a solution. They're trying to find a way with the Two of Wands, but they just can't. They can't seem to find a way of doing it. And even though there's a foundation here, I think this is the beginnings of what the new form of partnership, by everything but name. But the fact that the two swords cards down the bottom here, of these feel like bitch slaps from multiple sides. To kind of put them in their place and go, no. Fascinating. This has really gone completely differently to what I was thinking. This feels as if this is by current energies, this feels around about April next year, 2025, where this starts being bitch slapped back quite a lot by April. I know people are being distracted by Taylor Swift and like concerts and stuff like that, and donations and other things and that. But it's keeping an eye on this as well, and people are slowly but surely snapping it back, and it's like, wow. So if you enjoyed this, please thummy. I hope that the like button and jazz. Just make sure it works for other people. That'd be nice. Just tap it once, it'd be fine. If that works, I don't know. If you really enjoyed it, please subscribe and join the Greatest Good Village. We're building a village because it takes a village to support everybody. And please comment down below your thoughts about that, and the name of this woman who's in charge of the commission. It's not underline, is it? No, that's the no, I don't think that's the negotiator, in it. Von der Leyen, the new prime minister in France, isn't it? Who was Brexit negotiator sort of person, or maybe I'm mixing them up. I don't know. I haven't had enough coffee, and it's a bit late tonight. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me for this loveliness. I hope you've enjoyed this a lot. And remember that memberships are now available. Allegedly, I'm assuming by now they are now available. Guess what? I'm pre-recording this ever so slightly. I'm assuming it's ready. But until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See ya.